House of the Dragon is finally back, and wow, Season 3 Episode 1 did not waste a single second. No slow setup, no calm return, no gentle reminder of where we left off. HBO come back with war, dragons, battle, fire, panic, and one heartbreaking death. That changes the entire future of the Team Black. If you thought Season 2 was only building pressure, this episode is the moment that pressure exploded. We got the Battle of Guld. We got Rhaenyra pushed to the edge again. We got Aemon still becoming more dangerous, and most importantly, we got a tragic ending of Jacaerys Velaryon. That may be one of the most painful losses in the whole show so far. So in this video, I will break down everything that happened in House of the Dragon Season 3 Episode 1, explain the ending, talk about who died, what it means for the war, what the Greens and Black do next. So in this video, I will break down everything that happened in the House of Dragon Season 3 Episode 1, explain the ending, talk about who died, what is mean of the war, what the Green and Black do next, and why this episode may have just changed the entire balance of the power in Westeros. Let's get into it. So guys, House of the Dragon Season 3 Episode 1 titled Sword and Sea, Fire and Blood start exactly the way many fans hoped the season would begin, with the full chaos. This is not one of those premiere episodes where the show slowly reminds us of every character and then save the action for later. No, this episode opens with the feelings that the dance of the dragon is now fully out of control. The civil war is no longer something that is coming. It is here, it is real, and now every decision is going to cost lives. The episode is built around one major event, the Battle of the Guld. But the reason this episode works so well is because it's not just about action. It's about grief, pride, fear, desperation, and the moment war stop being strategy and become personal destructions. And by the end of episode, one thing become very clear. Rhaenyra may still have dragons, she may still have allies, but she is losing the people she loved one by one. And that pain is going to shape everything she does next. So let's break this episode down from the beginning. Season 3 begins with Westeros in a much darker place than before. The last season already pushed both sides closer to total war, but now there is no real path back. The lines are drawn. Team Black and Team Green are no longer just preparing for conflict, they are now living inside it. On one side, we have Rhaenyra Targaryen still fighting to claim the Iron Throne that she believes is rightfully hers. She is grieving, angry, and under enormous pressure. She has already suffered personal loss, and she is trying to lead while carrying all of that pain. On the other side, the Greens are still dangerous, still divided, and still unpredictable. Aegon's weakness, Alicent's guilt, and Aemon's growing power creates a very unstable political situation. And that instability makes the war even more dangerous because now it's not just two armies fighting, it's two broken families destroying the realm while trying to prove who deserves to rule it. The episode quickly makes it clear that Rhaenyra believes there is a real opportunity in front of her. King's Landing feels vulnerable, the Green are not perfectly united. There is a pressure everywhere, and if Team Black can strike at the right moment, maybe they can finally take control. But House of the Dragon loves doing one thing better than almost any fantasy show. The moment you think someone has a clear path forward, that the story reminds you that this world punishes certainty. And this is exactly what happened here. One of the most important part of the episode is not the battle itself. It's a Rhaenyra's emotional state before the battle even began. Rhaenyra is trying to lead, but she is clearly not in a peaceful or stable place emotionally. She is carrying grief from everything that has already happened, and now she is expected to think like a queen and military commander and a mother all at the same time. That is almost impossible. This episode does a great job showing that Rhaenyra is not weak. She is overwhelmed. There is a difference. She still has strength. She still has the will to fight. But she is surrounded by people asking her to make brutal decisions while she is still emotionally bleeding. And that matters become one of the biggest tragedies of this episode. This is Rhaenyra is once again forced to watch war take another son away from her. The show keeps pushing her into the same nightmare from different directions. First it was loss, then rag, then responsibility, and now this episode gives her something even worse, another reminder that in this war, being right does not protect the people you love. That is emotionally foundation of the whole episode. Now let's talk about the main event of the episode, the Battle of Gult. This battle is one of the most important earlier turning point of the war because it's not just a military clash, it's a test of leadership, discipline, and control under chaos. The Gult is basically a violent naval conflict where Team Black forces, especially the Valerian side of the alliances, and trying to deal with a deadly attack connected to the Trashy and Green interest. The sea become a war zone, ships are under attack, dragons are in the sky, and the episode turns into complete mayhem. What makes this battle so effective on screen is the way it feels messy and terrifying. This is not a clean fantasy battle where everyone get a cool heroic moment and the audience always understand exactly where every character is standing. It feels dangerous, it feels unstable, it feels like one mistake can destroy everything. And that's exactly what happened. The battle is not just about sword and ship. It became a battle of timing, emotion, panic, and ego. Characters are forced to make decisions in seconds. Dragons are not perfectly controlled weapons. People are trying to save each other, attack each other, command flats, survive fire, react to sudden changes all at once. That's why the battle works. It does not feel like a game board. It feels like war eating everyone alive. Now we need to talk about Jacaerys Valerian because this episode is really his tragedy. Jesse enters this episode like someone who wants to prove he is more than just Rhaenyra's son. He wants to be useful, he wants to be brave, he wants to show that he can act, lead, and protect his family cause. In many ways, he stepped into the role of a true heir. And that is what makes what happens to him so painful. Jesse is not hiding from the war. He is not waiting safely in the background while other people fighting from him. He is there, he is active, he is trying to do something meaningful. He wants to make a difference. And for a moment, it feels like he might actually become one of the strongest young leader of Team Black. But House of the Dragon is cruel in a very specific way. It lets character rise just enough to you imagine their future, and then it tears that future away. Jesse goes into battle on Vermax, and during the chaos, he is trying to help turn the tide. The problem is that once dragons are in the sky and ships are burning below, control disappear fast. One wrong move and destruction, one shift in the battle, and suddenly everything falls apart. And Jesse gets catch inside the collapse. One of the biggest talking points of this episode is Rhaenyra and Sheep Stellar. This is one of those moments where House of the Dragon shows is different between having a dragon and controlling a dragon. A dragon is not just a giant weapon, waiting to follow perfect order. It is a living, destructive force, and if the rider is not fully controlled, the situation can become catastrophic very quickly. Rhaenyra arriving with Chief Stellar changed the battle in a huge way. One paper, more dragon power should help Team Black. More fire in the sky should mean more pressure on the enemy, but the reality is much uglier. Instead of bringing clean support, Chief Stellar's arrival adds confusion and unpredictability to an already unstable battlefield. The dragon feels wild, dangerous, and hard to control. The battle becomes even more chaotic, and that chaos creates the opening of tragedy. This is such an important point in the episode because it shows that raw power is not the same thing as victory. In House of the Dragon, dragons can make you stronger, but they can also make your mistake much deadlier. Rhaenyra's involvement is likely going to be one of the most debated part of the episode among fans because whether you blame her fully or not, the timing of her arrival and the lack of control in the air clearly contribute to the disaster that follow. And unfortunately, the person who pays the biggest price is Jesse. Now let's get to heartbreaking center of the episode. During the chaos of the battle, Jesse and Vermax are thrown into a nightmare situation. There are attacks from the enemy, panic in the air, destruction on the sea, and confusion everywhere. Vermax is overwhelmed in the middle of the violent mess, and Jesse's position becomes increasingly dangerous. Depending on how you read the sequence emotionally, Jesse is basically trapped between duty and disaster. He is trying to fight, trying to survive, trying to hold the movement together, but the battle is too broken, too chaotic, and too unforgiving. Vermax is taken down in the middle of the conflict, the Jesse left exposed, and then comes the cruel final blow. He is killed during the aftermath of that chaos. While the battlefield gives him no heroic escape, no dramatic last second rescue, no miracle. That is what makes the death hit so hard. This is not one of those that where the show build up and giant goodbye speech and then gives you emotional closure. It is sudden, ugly, and devastating. It feels like war, it feels unfair, and it feels exactly like the kind of loss that can permanently break a mother and reshaping a kingdom. Jesse's death is not just a sad moment, it is a political disaster, an emotional catastrophe, and symbolic turning point all at the same time. Because Jesse was more than just another prince of Team Black. He was one of the face of the future, and now the future is gone. Let's slow down here because I think this is where the episode becomes much bigger than one battle. Jesse's dying means Renry loses another son. That alone is enough to change the emotional direction of the season, but politically, it's also huge. Jesse represented continuity, he represented hope for Rainier line. He represented youth, legitimacy, and possibility that Team Black still had next generation ready to hold the reign together after the war. Now that is shattered, and when a war starts talking away not just soldiers but hires, the psychological and the conflict changes. The fight becomes less about ruling well and more about surviving, punishing, avenging, and refusing the surrender after unbreathable pain. This is the danger now, because every time Renry loses a child, the chance of major, careful, merciful queen becomes smaller. The more the war takes from her, the more likely it becomes that grief will start driving strategy. And once grief starts ruling the board in a war like this, everyone is in trouble. So yes, Jesse's death is tragic because fans care about him, but it is even more important because it may be movement Rhaenyra emotionally crosses into much darker version of herself. Another important layer of the episode is what happened around Corlys Velaryon and the naval side of the war. The Valerians are central of the Battle of the Gulf because sea power is their strength. Their fleet matter, their experience matter, their ships matter. So when this battle turns into a bloodbath, it does not just hurt Team Black emotionally. It threatens one of their biggest strategic advantages. The episode creates serious tension around the fate of important player in the Valerian camp. And even when it does not fully resolve every question immediately, the message is clear, the cost of this battle is massive. Even if Team Black can calm some kind of technical victory or survival, it does not feel like a clean win. It feels like one of those battles where both sides walk away damaged, bleeding, and less certain of the future than before. That's why the ending of the episode feels so bitter. This is no real celebration here, no trumpet, we did it, energy. Even if the enemy is pushed back, the emotional cost is so high that victory feels empty. And that's exactly the tone House of Dragon wants. The war is not about Beleria's win, it's about how much of yourself you lose every time you survive. Now let's move over a green side, because even though the battle and Jesse's death dominate the episode, the green remain one of the most dangerous part of the story. First, Aemon continues to feel like one of the most terrifying people in the entire show. He is not dangerous only because of vigor. He is dangerous because he has the confidence of someone who believes fear is a tool. He carries himself like a man who already sees war as inventable and is comfortable becoming the monster that war requires. That makes him terrifying for Team Black, because while Renry is still carrying grief and conflict, Aemon often looks emotionally colder, and in a war, cold people can extremely effective. Then there is Elegant, who remains one of the most complicated people in the story. Depending on how you read her scenes, she is carrying guilt, regret, fear, and the awareness that things have gone much future than she may have imagined. But the tragedy of the Alicent is that even if she sees the horror clearly, she is still trapped inside a machine that helped create it. And then there is a larger screen problem. Instability at the top. A weak center can sometimes destroy a side, but in House of the Dragon, it can also make that side more dangerous because it creates space for unpredictable people to grab power. So while Team Black ends the episode emotionally devastated, the Green are not exactly in a clean or stable position either. The difference is that their chaos may create opportunities for ruthless action, especially through Aemon. I think one reason this premiere works so well is because it uses a giant battle to push several of the show's biggest themes at the same time. Before it destroys kingdom, before it changes border, before it changes politics, war destroy homes, parents, children, and relationship. This episode is perfect example of that. Jesse's death is not just a battlefield loss, it's a family wound that will keep bleeding. People in Westeros talk about dragons like they are the ultimate answer to everything, and just dragons are terrifying weapon. But the episode reminds us that they are not neat solution. They make war bigger, faster, and more uncontrollable. Ranry cannot go through repeated losses and remain emotionally untouched. No one could. This episode quietly asks a huge question for the rest of the season: what kind of ruler does grief create? Even when one side survives, everyone loses something. The Battle of the Gulf is not formed like a glorious conquest. It's a form like a nightmare people barely crawled out of. And honestly, that's why this episode feels so strong. This does not just give us a spectacle, it gives the spectacle emotional consequences. Now let's talk about the ending and what it means going forward. The ending of the episode is powerful because it does not leave us with triumph. It leaves us with shock, grief, and feeling that the war has entered a new phase. The most obvious meaning of the ending is simple. Ranry has survived another devastating personal loss, and there is almost no chance that she walk away from this emotionally unchanged. Jesse's death make the war even more personal than it already was. Any hope that this conflict could still be managed with restraint feels weaker now. From this point on, every move Ranry makes is going to be viewed through the pen of losing yet another son. But there is a second layer too. The ending also tells us Team Black is vulnerable in way they may not have fully understood. Even with dangerous, even with Corlys, even with a real calm to the throne. They are vulnerable to chaos, vulnerable to miscalculation, vulnerable to emotional decision, and vulnerable to the simple fact that war does not care who deserves to win. And then there is the bigger strategy question. If Jesse is gone, how does that affect the structure of Ranry's side going forward? Who step up? Who become more important? Who become harder to trust? And how much more desperate will Ranry become now that the war has taken another child from her? So the ending is not just saying a sad thing happened. The ending is saying the emotional center of Team Black has just been hit by another brutal blow, and the consequences are going to spread everywhere. For me, this was exactly the kind of season premiere House of the Dragon needed. After season 2 spent a lot of time building tension, this episode have to prove that the payoff was worth. And I think it absolutely did. The premiere feels bigger, darker, more emotional, and more dangerous than a normal setup episode. The Battle of the Guild gave the season an explosive start, but what really sells the episode is the emotional fallout. Jesse's death lands because the episode understands that war is not only about strategy, it's about what people lose while trying to win. I also think the episode did a very smart job of showing how frugal control really is in this world. Everyone wants to act like they have planned. Everyone wants to believe they are moving pieces on a board. But the second the dragons enter the sky, the panic takes over. All those plans become fragile. And that is the true horror of the Dance of the Dragon. There are not just two teams fighting. There are people with nuclear level power making emotional decisions while their family collapses around them. That's why every battle feels like the end of the world. Prediction for episode 2. Now let's talk about where the story could go next after the brutal opening. I think this is the biggest thing to watch. Jesse's death could push Ranry into a much colder and harsher midsight. We may start seeing a version of her that is less interested in compromises and more interested in pushing the people responsible. When a side suffers a loss this painful, people start blaming each other. They are start questioning decisions. They are start wondering what should have been done differently. If that happened to emotional damage from this battle could become a political problem too. Every time Team Black is weak, Aemon becomes even more terrifying because he can sense his momentum. If the Greens find a way to exploit Ranry grief or Team Black's instability, Aemon could become the biggest threat for the next few episodes. This episode already reminds us that dragon power is the center of the war, but it also shows that dragon rider, especially newer or less controlled ones, can change everything in both good or bad way. That means the dragon side of the story is only going to get more important from here. If the season starts with the battle of Gerd and the death of Jazz, then HBO is clearly telling us that this season is not here to play around. I expect battles, brutal retention, major deaths, and a lot of emotional collapse before the season ends. And I already know the fan reaction of this episode is going to be intense. A lot of people are going to be talking about Jesse's death, obviously. Some fans are going to be heartbroken, some are going to be angry, and some are going to debate whether the battle chaos, especially the dragon confusion, was handled the right way. There's also going to be huge conversation around Renry and Sheep Stellar because the part of the episode is absolutely going to divide people. Some viewer will see it's a tragic consequences of war and inexperience. Other will blame that movement directly from the disaster. It feels like the show has finally stepped into the full violence and tragedy of tanks. It feels bigger, it feels more dangerous, and it feels like from this point on, almost nobody is safe. So overall, House of the Dragon Season 3 Episode 1 was a brutal, emotional, and very strong return. It gave us massive battle, a darker tone, a painful death, and a clear message from the rest of season. This war is only going to get worse. Jace's death changes everything from Renry. The Battle of the Gerd proved that dangers do not guarantee control, and the ending leaves Team Black in a position where grief, anger, and desperation may shape every decision from here. And honestly, if this is how season 3 starts, then the rest of the season could be obviously devastating. But now I want to hear from you guys. Did Jesse's death hit you as harder as it hit me? Do you think Ranner and Sheep Stealer are going to be blamed for what happened? And after this episode, do you still think Team Black can win this war? Drop your thought in the comment, and if you want weekly House of the Dragon breakdown, ending explain videos and all the biggest TV updates, then don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on the bell. I will see you in the next one.